So I just wanted to give you some advice for the grid-in answers on the SAT or PSAT. So the grid-in answers are problems that are not multiple choice. So you can fill in your answer on the top of all the bubbles that you fill in. Okay, you can fill in the answer on top, but what you write on top doesn't really matter. It matters what you fill in on the bottom in the bubbles. So there's a circle or bubble for a decimal point. There's a bubble for a slash as far as a fraction is concerned. So I'll give you an example when we get to the bottom here. So it says mark no more than one bubble in any column. Only answers indicated by filling in the bubble will be scored. You won't receive credit for anything written in the boxes above. It doesn't matter which column you begin entering your answers. As long as the responses are in the grid area, you'll get credit. The grid can hold only 4 decimal places and only positive numbers and 0. Unless a problem indicates otherwise, answers can be entered on the grid as a decimal or fraction. Fractions like 3/24 do not need to be reduced. All mixed numbers need to be converted to improper fractions. And if an answer is repeating, grid the most accurate value the grid will accommodate. So here they show you how to write 7/12. Okay, like I said, you can write whatever you want on the top. It matters what you put down here. So if you want to make 7/12, you go to the 7, you fill that in. The slash for the fraction, and you fill in the 1 and you fill in the 2. Okay, and same with decimals. If it's 2.5, you fill in the 2, you fill in the point or the decimal, and you fill in the 5. Okay, you can also align this to the left rather than the right. So they wrote 2.5, but you can also do it like this. You can write 2.5. You can align it to the left, and then you'd fill in the 2, then the point, then the 5. Okay, so it doesn't matter if you align it to the right side or to the left side. So fractions can also be entered as decimals. Okay, so if you have 2/3, if you did 2 divided by 3 on the calculator, you would get 0.66666. It would just keep going. Okay, it would keep going forever. So in this case here, 0.667, that is considered a round off. All right, and what you do, you look at the 4th decimal place. If it's 5 or more, you round it up. So 0.666 becomes 0.667. All right, and they let you do it another way as well. Instead of a round off, they also let you do a cutoff. Okay, so if you have a repeating decimal, and you can see you can only fit 3 numbers here other than the decimal point, you can do a cutoff. Okay, so you can just cut this off and write 0.666. So either one will work, okay, a round off or a cutoff. So if you have a decimal answer that keeps going, you're only able to fit 3 numbers in the box because you have to put the decimal first and then 3 numbers. So you can do a cutoff or a round off. So it says something like 3/24 does not need to be reduced. But as you can see, you can only fit so many numbers in this box, okay? Other than the slash, you can only fit 3 digits. So if you had something like 10/50, there's no way you can fit that. All right, so in that case, you would have to reduce it to 1/5. Or you can just do the decimal, which would be 0.2. All right, so in some cases, the fraction might be too big to fit in the boxes. All right, you want to remember no mixed numbers. Okay, you cannot write 4.5. Okay, you have to convert that to either a decimal. 4.5 is the same as 4.5, Or you can do an improper fraction. 4 times 2 is 8, plus 1 is 9. So that's going to be 9 over 2. So 4.5 you cannot do in these boxes. You either do 4.5 or 9/2, but no mixed numbers. And finally, you want to remember no negatives. Okay, there is no negative sign in these grid-in questions. Okay, so no negatives. The lowest answer in this section is going to be 0. Okay, 0 or positives only. And in general, on the SAT test, you want to guess. You want to guess all multiple choice. Okay, please don't leave any answers blank in the multiple choice section. Of course, you can still guess on the grid-in section as well. You can still guess, but it's harder to guess because the number can almost be any positive number. All right, but in the multiple choice section, you definitely want to guess. Don't leave any answers blank.